Hello and welcome to Thaiger Bites. We're back for another week and another episode. And joining me again today is Michael Kenner.
Hey.
And once again, the lovely Arina.
Hello.
She's back by popular demand. Now, let's get right into it. I have my first comment here from the Right Honourable Street Urchin, who says, "What's the name of that plant in the background?" And he says, "What's Jay's background and where does he buy those shirts? So I know what shops to avoid." Firstly, the names of the plants on my right is Henrietta and on the left is John. He's still growing. And as for my background, I am originally from India and I buy these shirts from Pull and Bear. No plugs, but good shop. Avoid them if you must. Arina.
I've got a comment from Arch Ninja today. She doesn't sound Thai. She doesn't have a Thai name. She doesn't Y nor say Swadika. She doesn't even look Thai. How can she be born and bred Thai unless she was raised in completely by white people? Pretty sure she's a fake. My girlfriend, who is Thai, thinks she's Farang. Get a real lovely Thai lady. Thank you for your comment, Arch Ninja. I am actually half Thai. ถ้าอยากได้ยินคนไทยพูดภาษาไทยก็นี่ค่ะคนไทยแล้วนะคะขอบคุณค่ะ
Right, subtitles for that, I guess.
Yeah.
You can ask your girlfriend, Arch Ninja.
I mean, Arch Ninja, I mean, it is strange. I mean, Arina is a very educated Thai, which means that she is fully bilingual and bicultural. I mean, you know, are you just saying that Thai women can only just speak like a few words and if their English is broken, that makes them Thai? I mean, there are very educated Thais. You can go to Bangkok. The university students all talk now fluent English, especially the top universities in Thailand. So Arina's just really well educated, really well. So maybe you should be looking for that. Yeah, anyway.
Arch Ninja, I definitely don't agree with his comment as well because we all have a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues, a lot of people we know who have studied abroad and who are also half Thai. Now, Thailand is moving, you know, in a different direction and there are a lot of people who are multicultural and they don't need to speak in a certain way or look in a certain way, so perhaps it's you who needs to change your viewpoint. Mike, let's go to you.
Okay, cool. So I've got a comment from Boda. I'm just going to say Boda. Mike explained the attitude to road safety. Well there. Ride the motorbike wearing a face mask but no helmet. There's panic over COVID-19 but continued nonchalance regarding road safety. This is despite there being 3 times more deaths in the kingdom than there are COVID deaths since the pandemic. And but listen, I totally agree with you. I just think this has all just been blown out of control. I think it's like media hype. You know, obviously COVID is real, but I think COVID isn't the only problem in the world. And I think that is where we're going. That's why we're deciding to separate this from the GMT and not include the COVID stats because I think there's other things to talk about. You know, if there was like a tornado, would we still be talking about COVID if 1,000 people died in a tornado? I mean, it's just there's other things now to talk about, and it is a bit crazy where people are riding with no helmets and wearing face masks. I mean, it is just bonkers. So totally agree with that point, on that point, Boda.
Right. I have my comment here from JD who says, "Only a foreign fool wastes time to learn Thai. English is a universal language. Thai should learn English. If you know English, you will make more money anywhere in the world, regardless what you do. If you learn Thai, it is 100% useless outside of Thailand. So why waste the time learning it?" Well, JD, I would only reply back saying that if you live in Thailand, the least you could do is learn the local language of the people that you live amongst, work amongst, and, you know, enjoy your life amongst, because I'm guessing you are here or have been here because you enjoy Thailand. And I think it's a very silly thing to say that English matters the most. I mean, it is accurate, you know. I'm not going to lie, it is accurate. English is the most universally spoken language. But to say that just because you speak English, you shouldn't learn another language because it's not relevant to any other country, what logic is that? If you're living in Thailand and visiting Thailand or any country, you should at least, the least you could do is learn a couple of words to skate by. I think it's not right to say that, oh, Thai people should learn English for me. It's all about me. It's not the right mindset.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point. I mean, I was busting for the toilet and I speak no Thai and I did not know how to say, hey, is there a toilet with not one of them holes in the ground, but one I can actually use? And my lack of language skills really messed me up. I won't tell you how that story ended, but I wish at that point I could speak some Thai. So it can become quite useful.
Right, Mike, next comment.
Okay, so Robert Santos, good point, Mike, regarding the validity of announcements. And Robert, listen, I agree with you. I think, like, my personal take on this is that the WHO has been a bit of a disaster in relation to everything they're saying. They're the biggest flip-floppers of all comments and all their announcements. 1 minute they say this, the next minute they say that. They're very far behind. I think that, in relation to this, there's lots of other sources of information that are much quicker and much more reliant than the WHO. So I totally agree with you on that one.
Okay, Arina.
I've got a comment here from John Priest. The noise pollution from boy racers on souped-up motorbikes is an absolute disgrace. Are there no laws to prevent this? So, from what I know, there are actual laws to prevent this. There's a certain loudness to the bikes that you can have on your bikes. So the cops try to, catch
regulate them.
Yeah,
He's talking about the exhaust pipes
yeah.
of motorbikes. Certain individuals in Thailand, generally young ones, we call them
Dick Wen.
Right, we call them Dick Wen. So you've got these young kids, basically, or young teenagers who drive motorbikes extremely loudly, and they've changed their exhaust pipes on their motorbikes to make the loudest noise possible, causing a lot of noise pollution.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of what was the name? John. Like John said, a lot of disturbances in homes and streets. They do have laws preventing them, but normally they're driving so fast, unless a police is waiting on his motorbike to catch them specifically, they wouldn't be able to catch them. There are laws, they're just, not really regulated, unfortunatately.
Yeah.
Mike, do you drive your motorbike very loudly?
Yes, very loudly. I like to wake up my dog every morning when I rev the engine. My bike isn't a big bike. Which is, if anyone coming out here, I recommend just getting a good bike with good brakes. That would probably be the best recommendation. That saved my life a few times as opposed to a loud bike. I've seen a lot of this, and we've got loads of comments on the bike.
Wait, hold on. Before you start, I have a comment here from Cliff regarding your love for F1 and motorsport. He says, Mike, the F1 comment was bloody priceless. Keep it up, Cliff. Now, Cliff is referring to a comment that was from our last Thaiger Bites episode, where I asked Mike if he watches F1, to which he abruptly commented, no.
Yeah, I said there's no point watching F1 when you've got it on your doorstep. If you just go down my road, lunatics, like lunatics. And this leads on to questions about who is a lunatic. Martin Rowlinson says the number one reason for Thailand's dangerous roads is Thai drivers, end of. The tiny amount of tourists and expats is not relevant, and the road is fully untrained, unlicensed drivers, and the one with licenses can't judge the risk, speed, etc., and race to the front. So listen, I agree with you that the majority of it is Thai drivers, of course. That's where all the death rates. My point is in percentage relationship to the amount of foreigners and expats versus Thais. I'm just going to make a wild assumption. I bet you, and this is I have to research this, that the percentage of foreigners that are getting involved in accidents versus the percentage of Thais that get involved in accidents are higher, because they come here, at least the Thais, even if they don't have licenses, they've been driving on bikes all their lives, they're very accustomed to this way of life, whereas these foreigners and expats, they come here and they've never been on the bike before, a lot of them. There's obviously ones that have, which we spoke about, but I think that creates a very dangerous scenario. And just leading on to another comment, which from Max Miguel, he says, good discussion today, guys. I don't think it's revealed how many tourists actually go home in boxes. I read that 200 Aussies died in Thailand in 2016 alone, and on Samui I think it averages 12 tourists per year. On the bright side, it's a great place to have a holiday, and I think, it's dangerous, like really dangerous. So, if you guys are coming here, be careful, be safe, get a helmet, because that's probably the easiest way you can hurt yourself is take a smash on the head. So, keep yourself safe, guys.
Sure, Arina.
All right, well, to, brighten up that a little bit, Wade Dupey has a comment from Mike. How long has Mike been in Pew-ket? The pronunciation annoys me every time.
Okay, so I've been here about 7 to 8 years, and I've been coming back since a long time before that. Look, I get it. It's annoying. What would you want me to do, guys? Come on. you know, I have a cockney accent just from outside London. I think, you know, what can I do? I'll try my hardest, right? But sometimes I say other things.
Try and say it again.
I can do it if I really try, but I've really got to focus.
Here we go.
Pew-ket.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wow. Good job, Mike.
There you go. I'm a crowd pleaser.
There we go.
Getting there,
Mike
getting
for
there.
governor.
Yeah.
All right,
Vote for
Arina,
me.
any last comments?
Just a lovely comment to myself, I guess. Scotty B to Arina, lovely, calm, and natural co-host. Sorry.
Arina making fans.
Thank you, Scotty.
I mean, Arina flattering herself. I mean, the irony. I come on and read all the negative comments, and Arina's like, oh, I'm so perfect. You know, thanks, everyone.
Take it as they come. Take it as long as it lasts.
I just want to whack 2 more comments out. Joe, you got any more or no?
I've got a last comment here from Ken Monahan. Now, he is, for those of you who don't know Mike and Arina, Ken is a long-serving viewer of the Thaiger, and he has been critical of our setup in general. However, he's a very difficult man to please, but I will try, Ken. Ken says, Jay, please take the tall plant and move it over to your left shoulder and the short, thinner plant on the blue wall on your guest. With 3 people in the scene, the balance would be better and the scene framed. You know, sometimes we don't realize that a lot of our viewers do care about the little things and the details, and I appreciate your comment, Ken. I will try to adjust the plants a bit better. As you can see, Henrietta today is in between Arina and Mike, and I will try to move John a little closer too. So thank you for the feedback. Yeah, and that's all from me to you, Ken. Any last comments?
I've got 2 more. So I've got one from, I think it's Francis Rodger. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Shall we talk about tailgating? I definitely think one of the main reasons people have accidents here, it must come down to the way Thais learn how to drive, leaving about 2 inches between you and the next guy in front. And you know, I actually really agree with this comment. And from someone who's done the Thai driving test, I can tell you this is exactly how it is. So I'm not going to censor this. You go and do a theory similar to, say, what you would do in the Western world, except for all the answers are online, right? So you can find all the answers before you go in.
True.
So I had all the answers to the test. I mean, I hope they don't take away my license now. And then you go into a driving test, and from my experience, I mean, it's quite funny actually, because I was the only foreigner there that explained everything in Thai, so I didn't know what anyone was talking about, and they were just like, go. But anyway, at no point do we ever do any partly driving on a real road with real cars. We drive around basically a car park, and they say, park here and drive along the side of this road as near to the curb as you can get. And if you can basically do that, you're good to go. So at no point they teach you, okay, this is how you drive with other cars. So yeah. I think it is basically how they learn and how they've been instructed. And you know, yesterday I had someone write up my beep, and it was really annoying. I wanted to just go nuts, but I didn't. I kept calm. And so anyway, thank you for that comment, and I agree with you. I mean, last comment, James Edwards. I started watching when Tim was the main person and not the children have taken over. Just really loud people, and they're like having lots of fun, but advocating just an amateur hour now. Anyway, I didn't really get the end of it, but James, just to let you know, mate, I'm 36 years old, so if I'm a child, I wonder how old you are, right? So I think, you know, at what point does this not become kids because, you know, we're of adult age. I mean, I've got 12 children. 12. I mean, like, how much more of an adult can I be? So I think, listen, it's definitely not, you know, while the adults are away, the kids will play, right? It's definitely not, you know, like, I'm a grown man. I can show you my chest hair, but it will have to be censored. So thank you, James. And it's not amateur hour. It's a more of a light-hearted version, and it's more fun. And this is where we want to take the brand forward. So thank you so much for your subscription. And Tim will be back. Don't worry, he will be back. He'll be back with vengeance. He'll be back just to address this one. So.
Right, and once again, if you do love our news programs and straightforward news, you can watch Thailand News Today in the evenings with Jet. That comes around 6 p.m. every day. As for us, that's all for today. So I'd like to thank Arina and Mike for joining me today.
Thank you.
And Jason behind the buttons, and thank you for watching. If you did like our video, please like and subscribe to our channel down below. Arina's pointing to it, Mike's pointing to it. Please do it, please subscribe. And that's all we have for today. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good Monday.